and good morning. It is Friday, thank God, July 16th. Thank you for joining us on Up to the Minute. And no, I am not Todd Duplantis. He is on a well-deserved vacation. But I am Dr. Tony Rail Sutherland, and I also have Frank Cooper with us. Hi, Frank.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. What's up, Tony? What's going on? Long time no see.
I know. I've been around, but just kind of hiding in the places, you know. So, hey, Frank, tell us a little bit real quick about how everybody can see us and know more about HCCTV, more about HCC.
Absolutely, Tony. So just for you guys and gals, we have a new addition to our programming. So Up to the Minute will be on now HCCTV, live on TV, Monday through Fridays from noon to 5 p.m. But also, as usual, we're on YouTube Live, Facebook Live. And to go back to watch the episodes on YouTube, hit the notification bell. HCC Community College Up to the Minute. We're also on Facebook, LinkedIn as well. So let's grow the show, and good morning.
Thank you, Frank. Always keeping us on top of things. Okay, well, today we have a couple of guests. One of our HCC presidents is with us, Dr. Phillip Nicotera, and he's going to talk to us about extending the enrollment period for Coleman College, the College for Health Sciences. So, hi, Dr. Nicotera. Thank you for being with us. And then, in addition to that, it is, of course, Film Friday. And on Film Friday, we have a special guest here. It's Joe Leydon, and he's going to tell us some very interesting things. So we always love Film Friday. But first, we are going to go to Dr. Nicotera. And Dr. Nicotera, tell us a little bit about, I understand that Coleman College is extending their they're registering for certain, I was going to say admission. They're registering for certain courses. So tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. First of all, good morning, Tony, and how you doing, Frank? Good to be here. I'm going to kind of put this in a little bit of different perspective. At Coleman, we're a little bit different than the rest of HCC colleges because in order to enter a program at Coleman, you have to meet certain academic requirements. Also, you have to meet certain testing requirements to enter the programs at Coleman. So you're not able just to show up to Coleman and register for a course. You have to apply to the specific health program that you're interested in, and bring in along with you the prerequisite materials that are required for that program. But you are right. We have extended some of the deadlines. Each program has an application deadline period, and we did extend some of the deadlines for the simple reason was that with coming out of COVID and in the world starting to change, and potential students starting to think about either continuing their education or coming back to school. We decided just to give them a little bit more time to decide on what program they wanted to enter. So we did extend over. Normally most of our programs, the application deadline is in the beginning of June. And so for some of the programs, we extended it to the end of June. For example, in sonography and health information technology, and in radiography. We extended others to July 15th, which was histology and medical laboratory, pharmacy, and physical therapy assisting. We do have two programs that are closing today. The application period is closing today, and that's medical assisting and occupational therapy assisting.
Well, that's good. Well, tell me, if say they miss this and they still want to do that, I know there are deadlines, but how do they get into the next time, So
we do have a few programs that have what we call rolling admissions, and one of those is is health information technology, human services is another, so they can continue to apply. It's important to note, and this is what I think as we try to talk to students, is that we are very competitive programs. And so to answer your question, students need to apply early. Even though we extended the deadline this year, that's a rarity. And that was because of COVID. So I just want to give some examples. So we have we had 316 qualified applicants, which means they met all of the requirements to enter the program in nursing, and we have 120 seats available. So that's approximately not quite 3 times the number of qualified applicants to seats that we have. And just another example, I want to give a few examples because I think it's important for students to know that applying early really puts you in a better opportunity to get into the program. Dental hygiene, for example, they have 18 seats. We had 182 applicants. So that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
In our radiography program, 45 seats, and we have 183 applicants. So I won't go through them all because the vast majority of our programs, we have far more applications that are in students that are qualified that are competing against each other than we actually have seats for. So therefore, the earlier you apply, the better chance that you have of being able to enter the program or getting accepted into the program. So those that apply late, it may be too late for them. They may not have that opportunity, and so they will need to reapply next. Some programs enroll twice a year, and many programs enroll only once a year. So that's why I think it's essential that students know to, number one, apply early. Number two, and I think it's 1 and 1A, get with an advisor at Coleman to understand what it is you need and where you might stand, because we rank students according to a criteria to enter the program.
And this criteria, what are some things that students need to be thinking about in order to enter?
Okay, so great question. So first thing is GPA. Every program, and we have 19 different programs, so each program has a minimum GPA to apply to the program. Number two is students need to look at what are the prerequisite courses and what are the grades that they get in those prerequisite courses. And I'm just going to give an example. So some of the prerequisite courses that are common to many of the programs are anatomy and physiology, psychology, maybe microbiology, sometimes chemistry. And so if you get an A or a B, that's a really positive thing for an applicant. The other thing that all of the programs do is we do admission testing. The admission test is called a Hesi test, a Hesi admission test. And so they take the Hesi, the higher they score on that, the better chance they have of getting in the program. And then other things that they need to do are they need to have immunizations completed. They need to have a background check and a drug screening. But that comes, that comes after they're accepted to the program.
What if a student is interested in health sciences, but they're not quite sure which field or which area to go to? Is there anything that can kind of help them figure out what would be best for them?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We, besides meeting with an advisor, we have a career specialist. And so between interviewing and doing some career testing on what your aptitude is and what your likes are, we can do that and help guide you, through a process between advising and our career specialist.
Well, in health science positions, I know that there's a lot of need in that area. What are some positions that are really the hospitals and the health field are really looking for?
Sure. Well, everybody's going to always tell you nursing, and there's no doubt about that. So you're right, and that's the thing that I'm going to say is many students come in and they think that they want to be a nurse just because that's all that they've ever heard. But there's so many other professions out there that are just as rewarding. So if you're a more introverted person and you like to use your hands, I would recommend, and it's another very, very good field, is medical lab technologies, where you do lab testing. There are, just thinking now all of the COVID testing that we're doing, in the explosion of going on there, that's a very, very another strong field. With us, another good field is physical therapy assisting, where when, more and more patients are staying less time in the hospital. So they're doing more of the rehabilitation outside on their own using ambulatory resources. So physical therapy assisting is another very strong program. One that's very, very hot right now is medical assisting. With many of the ambulatory care centers, emergency centers, number of doctors' offices, rather than them using nurses, they're using medical assistants. A very, very big field right now.
And you can make some decent money in this field, right?
Yes, yeah, and all of them. We on our website, we have all of the earnings that are there.
Okay, and one last thing, if someone is interested, I know you told us something, but where can they go to get more information to apply?
Well, the first thing that I would recommend that they do is go to hccs.edu, go down and click on the health programs area, and go to, when you go there, you'll see all of the programs. And to click on whatever program you're interested in. On that website, it tells you everything about the program you want to know. They can download an admission booklet that explains everything to them. Also, on that site, there's two videos. One is a testimonial from a student on their experience in the program, and the other is about is an orientation video regarding the program. So all of the programs have that. That's the first place I would start. The second place that I would go to is go to an advisor at Coleman.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And there will be more information in our post on this show afterwards. So stay tuned to that.
Good.
Thank you, Dr. Nicotera. We really appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Everybody take care.
And now we get to go to our Film Friday. Joe Leydon, he is from the Houston Film Critic Society, also Variety Magazine, and the UH School of Communications. A lot of stuff there. Hi, Joe.
Well, I have a lot of bills to pay and a lot of cats to feed. So, I have a lot of plates spinning on a lot of sticks.
I like it. Well, you have there the HFCS, that's Houston Film Critics Society, has some new awards that they're going to present, and you're going to talk to us a little bit about that. But tell us a little about the movie industry. I know that for a good while, because of COVID, a lot of stuff just kind of stopped, you might say. How is it doing now?
Well, there seems to be an uptick in, obviously, attendance, people going to see the Fast and the Furious movie, Black Widow, and I'm sure today at theaters and drive-ins everywhere, everybody's going to go see the new Space Jam film. Even some of the art houses, are doing better business now as people slowly, acclimate themselves or reacclimate themselves to going back to the movie. But, in some ways, the horse has been let out of the barn. I mean, you think about this, for the last year, a lot of people who didn't have a streaming service before, a lot of people who may not have even watched a lot of, movies they rented from Redbox have gotten used to the fact, A, watching their movies at home on their big screen TVs and watching movies that had just been released in theaters or were currently in theaters. Now, how many people have permanently lost the movie-going habit? I don't know. I haven't seen any figures indicating, decisively one way or the other. But I mean, we all went through changes. I mean, last March, I was teaching courses at the University of Houston. I was also teaching at the A-Leaf campus at HCC, some film history courses. And, both cases, I got an email, we're not coming back from spring break, so you have to reconfigure all of your classes for online. It's like, okay, and how much time do I have to do that? A week. Okay. And of course, I was screening movies for students, in the film appreciation courses. So I had to go online and find places to show where they could access free movies. I mean, because it would have been a really dirty thing to do to students at that late point in the semester. Oh, and now you're going to have to pay money to register for Netflix or anything like that. And it was kind of difficult. I mean, I finally found the website Crackle. And yet, the problem with Crackle is, A, they had commercials, but B, they would drop films without any notice. So it's like every week.
Hard to plan.
Okay, is this movie still available to students? And of course, I mean, with the COVID scare, I had one student, poor guy. He and his parents went back to the Philippines to care for, his grandparents who'd gotten COVID. And his only access to the outside world was his cell phone, and the Wi-Fi was spotty. So it's like, well, you're not going to be able to watch too many movies like this. So it was one of these things where, okay, what movies did you already see in the class? And, I felt kind of goofy saying this, but just tell me what movies you saw. I will send you a multiple choice test and you can take it over your phone. Now, bring that kind of, slapdash planning over to the film industry. I mean, some big tentpole films were held for more than a year, like, Black Widow, Dune, which is not coming out until later this year, and others. Well, okay, HBO Max and Warner Brothers are trying this experiment where for 20 days or so after a film opens, over 20 days after the opening day, it's what they call day and date. In other words, you can see it in the theater, but you can also see it on the streaming service, like the Space Jam movie, for example. Again, are people going to get used to that? Or have people gotten so used to that they've gotten spoiled?
Yeah.
A colleague of mine was complaining from a Cannes Film Festival. Well, I don't see why film festivals are streaming movies to, people who can't get here. It should be an honor to go. And this guy got flamed pretty badly on Twitter because, every film festival, Toronto, the New York Festival, Tribeca, Sundance, they are going to be, making films available for streaming online. I mean, you've got to buy a ticket, but because that's how we've kind of reconfigured ourselves, our expectations. So I think everything is still up in the air.
Well, the Houston Film Critics Society, who you're a big part of, is putting out some new awards this year. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's not so much new awards as we've had to reconfigure eligibility requirements. Last year, kind of like the Oscars, it's like, okay, we usually shut off December 31st. That's the day of eligibility, Well, last year, the Oscars opened it up to, I think, another month or something. And also, if a film had been intended to be released in theaters, but only, premiered on streaming, that would qualify too. That's not going to be the case now. With the Oscars, this is not going to be the case with us. We also have a Made in Texas film award for an independent film that is produced and filmed primarily in Texas. We are planning to go back to having a public open to the public awards show where people can come in and watch film clips and watch all of us Houston Film Critics Society members gas bag about how wonderful cinema is and give out awards and but of course what Mike Tyson said about plans, right? Everybody has a plan until the first time they get punched in the face.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, we're all supposed to go back to on campus in classroom teaching. You
don't know how that's going to work.
I'm getting memos on this, and then I'm also getting in my news feed. COVID cases are spiking, and so. Everything I'm talking to you about movies, everything I'm talking to you about education could change in a month.
I read something about that you're going to have something about the worst film award. Oh my God. I'm not sure that I would want that award.
Well, I mean, depending on your mindset, I mean, there's some people who take it as a badge of honor, or dishonor. I mean, it might look good on the DVD packaging. See the movie that Houston Film Critics is the worst since the Lumiere brothers started showing movies on the screen.
I understand. Well, listen, thank you so much for being with us. We really, really appreciate it. It's always fun to have you on.
Happy to be here. You all take care now, dear.
Okay, thank you. And the information he was telling us about, you'll find more of that in our post at the end of the show. Okay, Frank, are you still there?
Indeed, I am.
Very good. Tell us about some of these events that we have here at HCC.
Absolutely, Tony. So all year long, HCC and HR have been having virtual coffee breaks. So grab a cup of coffee with coworker Janet Mayo, who's the Chief Human Resources Officer, to continue chatting and adapting to our new current reality. So that'll be Tuesday, July 20th at 11 a.m. And that guest would be Gathri Devi Bala, who's the Associate Vice Chancellor of Finance and Accounting. So for more information about that, check your emails and register.
Very good. And Disney Drive-In with Student Life. We still got that going on. Wednesday, July 21st, 8 p.m. over at Spring Branch. If you want to see Raya or The Last Dragon, blah, blah, blah. I can't talk. Go, and there's free popcorn and drinks. So, I mean, that part's really good because that in itself can be pretty expensive.
Absolutely. I might take my goddaughter to see Raya. She's been complaining about I don't ever take her out to the movie, so we may do that.
There you go. And work study, yeah. Go ahead.
So for those who are looking for work, students, here's a great opportunity: work study job fairs. So HCC Job Fairs not only put you in the same room as organizational partners looking for work study students, but also give you the opportunity to interview and begin the onboarding process that very day. The next one is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Wednesday, July 28th at HCC Central. So use the QR code on the district Facebook page to register.
And HCCTV is one of the places that you can get a job at. So we're always looking for new students. And so work study is a perfect way for you to learn a little bit more about behind the scenes of television and media and all that kind of stuff. I'm not even sure, Frank, did you start that way or you just already had experience when you got here?
I was lucky enough to get an internship at KPRC my senior year of college, and it was luck. I met the sports director at an NFL draft party, and I gave him my contact. And I always tell young students, man, it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. So always stay proactive when it comes to expanding your network.
And so, this is a good place to get firsthand experience, which is what they're looking for. With Stan, it's a Latin art that is presented during times of conflict. 2 HCC artists are in the Holocaust Museum, Houston, juried exposition on resistance and its ramifications in the visual arts. HCC art instructor Angel Castellan and recent HCCAA graduate Jacques Garcia are both in the show, and it's there through September 2021. And we have some links to that at the end of the show.
Absolutely. Guys and gals, we have HCC has a list of training programs that can get you in and out and into a high demand job right away. If you qualify, they could be free. Jobs include everything from air conditioning to cybersecurity to logistics to welding. So go to our website and search Fast Track Training and go to the link to in our post after the show.
And the most important thing to remember is fall enrollment is still open, but go now to register. We have online anytime classes. We have online on a schedule classes, hybrid lab, hybrid courses, in-person courses, every kind of way you can think that you want to take a course, we got it. So register for all HCC programs and go to hccs.edu/now. And now, the next thing that's important is what are we going to have for Monday? We have Mental Health Monday, and we will spotlight July as Intimate Partner Violence Awareness and Prevention Month. We will have host Dr. Antrice Baget of HCC and the Houston Area Women's Center, who will both offer tips and resources for you or anyone you may know who is experiencing abuse of any kind from a so-called loved one. So that's about all we have today. Thank you, Frank, for being with us. We appreciate it. You're always a lot of fun.
It's always a pleasure, ma'am. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. And thank you guys for joining us. And remember to come and be with us every Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock. And then we're also on YouTube, as Frank explained before, and Facebook and HCCTV and there's so many ways to see us. So don't forget to watch us. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.